Okay, it is cold out. It's January, Wednesday. I'm gonna guess the 22nd. Might be the 23rd. I really don't pay much attention to the date. I really should start doing that. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon, and we're gonna go for a little walk and a little talk. I think I should probably cross the street to the sunny side of the street because it ain't warm. It is cold. Canada cold. I'm gonna tell a little story about Jesus. Okay, I just put on noise cancellation. I'm trying out the noise cancellation feature because it's quite loud, all this traffic. So we'll hear a little test video. We gotta go to the sunny side of the street here. This weather is cold, not cool. And I'm gonna tell you a story. A true one. It'll probably have several parts to it. And it's a story about how I found Jesus Christ. That he is real, he's a living God, and he died on the cross and ascended to heaven 3 days later. And he's a living God. Now, I would have mocked that for most of my life. I probably did. But a bunch of different events led me to the realization that I was wrong, and I don't know, the Holy Spirit entered me. And I haven't looked back. Doesn't happen overnight, for me anyway. It was quite a journey. So, I don't know what we're going to title this, but from Bigfoot to Jesus, or how Bigfoot took me by the hand and brought me to Jesus. And you're like, how could that be? Well, I'm going to tell you a story, and that's exactly what happened. Beautiful blue sky today. But very, very cold. I don't know if I'm going to make it or not, but... So, once I get moving here, I'll start talking again. Now, so basically you can just sit back, watch the video, we're just going for a walk on a cold January Montreal day. Thought I'd be working today, but turns out I'm not. No big whoop. And, I've been fortunate because I should be dead. And when you realize when you die, you go to heaven or you go to hell. That's just the way it is. It doesn't matter who you are or what you believe. We'll get into that later. But yeah, that's what happens. And I had so many opportunities to be dead. I realized now that someone was protecting me. And that someone is Jesus Christ, Lord, His angels. Because I was very low. When you don't know, you're very low, at least I was. And then when I started to figure it out, my life improved. And it's getting better every day. But I used to do all kinds of things that put me in situations where I could easily have died. And you don't have to put yourself in any situation because it's your time, you're going. But still, I shouldn't be here. So, here's the story. We're going to start, probably many parts. And as I mentioned, I attribute Bigfoot. That's right, mythical half man, half beast that roams the forests of North America, for bringing me to Jesus. Now, I know it wasn't him, but it was researching him that led me to Jesus. So here's the scoop. Years ago, over 20 years ago, living in Toronto, I was in this world, wasn't of it, but I was in it, as I am now. But I was not in good shape. And just checking out the menu here. I was not in good shape, spiritually, mentally, financially, physically. Really bad. And I was on my way to meet my wife in the country at her parents' cottage. So I'm throwing a bag together and I had the TV on. I haven't had the TV on basically since then. Don't watch TV anymore. I can't stand it. And the news headline of the day was, they just might have captured Bigfoot. I'm like, what? Because I'm an old guy, and in the 70s, they really talked a lot about Bigfoot. There was even a movie in the theater where, they'd show the, footage. That famous footage we've all seen, kind of blurry and whatnot. And I'm thinking, here we are, let's say it was the year 2000. Here we are, around then. And they're pretending, or they're the news. Now, I didn't realize that all news was made up, and I didn't realize the occult groups controlled. I didn't even know there were occult groups. I was a babe in the woods. We'll get into all that, I'm sure. But I thought, that's weird. So I get to the cottage, and there's no TV there. I'm like, yeah, apparently they caught Bigfoot. Beautiful old church. And everybody's making fun of me. Going, there is no Bigfoot. I go, yeah, I'm not saying I believe it. I'm saying the news. That's the big news story of the day. Oh, okay. So people, so I couldn't wait to get back to the city and start researching. So when I got back, now I had internet pretty much from the get-go. I don't know what I was doing before, I started this journey. Probably downloading MP3s or whatever. Probably looking at stupid stuff that you shouldn't look at. I really can't remember. But it wasn't anything good for me. It's all stuff that really have bad effects on you. But there were a lot of blogs and a lot of stuff on Bigfoot. So as I'm waiting for them to, and of course back then, you could buy a trail camera for $100, nail it to a tree, and something walks by and takes a picture. So how come anytime Bigfoot's in the news, it's always a blurry image? I get it. They might be light on their feet like a hairy John Belushi, but still, you'd think we'd be able to catch an image. Back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, we didn't have that technology. But by 2000, we certainly did. So I'm like, why is the news? I didn't know that the news was not our friend. I'm not saying I believed everything, but I didn't know how far from good they were and are, and how evil they are, and how they have an agenda. It's to keep you down, keep you scared. But anyway, so I'm researching, and all the blogs, Bigfoot, talk about, some old lady. There's one on the, now at this time, before I get into it here, UFOs were big news. They had, at Von Daniken with Ancient Aliens. You can forget about that, guys. If you're into that, forget it. And, because the internet was really just getting going, I had it since the mid-90s, but really wasn't much there compared to, it really started to get going in the 2000s. And the other big thing, now I was into UFOs and aliens, of course. When you're lost, who wouldn't want to believe in UFOs? Sounds great. It's all BS. Now I'm going to tell you what they are. Stay tuned. So at the time, researching Bigfoot, I'm checking out pictures of crop circles. They are amazing. People who don't know anything about crop circles are going to tell you, they're all made by man. And then you show them pictures and they shut up real fast, because it doesn't matter how stupid you are. You can take just a quick brief look and everybody shuts up at that moment. Why? Because they're mathematic equations. They're mathematically perfection. Like if you go one side of a crop circle and go, let's say, 180 degrees around, it's the exact same. And considering these are done at night, right? There's never been a half-finished crop circle, meaning it never started to rain. And the crop circle makers disappeared. Never been a half-finished circle. Nobody's ever caught anybody making one. Now they're incredibly elaborate, they're perfection, and they defy logic. So that really helps out the whole alien agenda. So you got Bigfoot, aliens, and somebody's making crop circles. The perfect Jesus Christ demons, spirits. They're not mentioned in any of this. Okay? Kind of gave away the where we're going with this, but anyway. So, when you're looking into Bigfoot, there's a lot of accounts, and they're very similar. People spot it on their balcony, out in the woods, get a shotgun, shoot it, and just in a flash, it's not lying there dead, it's disappeared. People tracking the giant footprints in the snow. There's no tree, there's no hole, there's nothing around. But the footprints just stop, right? You know, any Canadian knows, you know, footprints in the snow, they don't stop. They go somewhere. Sometimes police track robbers or whatnot by their tire prints and their footprints, because if it's a fresh snow, you follow them. So deep, big, heavy footprints. This is Parc de Portugal. Let's take a little break here. This is where singer, songwriter, and famous Montrealer Leonard Cohen lived. That's right. And he lived right there in that gray house, 3-story house. I think he sings about it. And when he passed, there was a big vigil outside, people singing, crying, flowers for weeks. That's it. Now, depending upon where you live, you might think, no, it's not a Hollywood mansion, it's a Montreal mansion. And he's right here in front of this beautiful park, which is normally just a place where people hang out. A lot of places for people to hang out in Montreal. So anyway, back to, oh, yeah, look at that. What's that? What's that in the sky there? Do you see that? Huh? And it reminds me, at the same time, so the big four in the early 2000s, if you were into conspiracy and stuff, was chemtrails right there. See it? See the chemtrail? Bigfoot, crop circles, and aliens. I'm going to tell you what that is up there. I'm not going to tell you now because you won't believe me. Let's see if I can zoom in. It's right under the tree. Look at that beautiful blue sky. And look at that. Okay, so those are the big four. Thank you for reminding me. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag yet. You might have figured it out. But I'll tell you, if you keep listening, well, it just flew over my head there. Now, I knew nothing. I was in this world. I was in pain. A lot of graffiti in the city. But I was on my way. I know where I was on my way to now. Back then I had no idea, but I just kept because I was interested. Because when you don't know Jesus and you're miserable, you're always looking for something. Yummy. You're empty, so you're always trying to fill yourself up. And there's a lot of people there to fill you up. Just a sec. Okay, changed hands. Have to do that. So, there's a lot of people that fill you up because they don't want you to get to the finish line. They're what's called gatekeepers. We'll get to that. And a lot of gatekeepers. You have gatekeepers in your family. You work with gatekeepers. You live beside gatekeepers. You might even live with one. And they're there to make sure you never find out the truth. Because once you do, you're saved. And they may lose. But we'll get to that. So, the early 2000s, I was miserable. No purpose to my life. No dignity. No nothing. On the way to visit, to meet up with my wife, who had gone a week or so before me, at the cottage. The news of the day, and the international, the news of the world, was some guy in California or whatever might actually have proof that Bigfoot exists. And I'm thinking, get back to the cottage, which had no cable. We didn't have, smartphones and iPads. And started researching. So, big four were aliens, chemtrails, crop circles, and Bigfoot. All four of them are not what you think. And they all are the same thing at the same time. So, reading blogs, researching. I had nothing to do, so I could research till 4 a.m., which I did. And I noticed in blogs, and I don't doubt the stories and half these blogs are true. People are like, follow the footprints. They just stopped in the snow. There's no tree, no hole, no cave. People talk about shooting them because we didn't live in a country, especially in the U.S. You got guns. You see something like that looking in your window, you shoot it. And rightfully so. And people were talking, old ladies, whatever, would talk about how it just disappeared. So again, I'm looking at aliens, I'm looking at crop circles, I'm looking at chemtrails, and I'm reading this. And then my tiny little brain said, is Bigfoot related to aliens? Now, I have all the bookmarks from 20 years ago on an old computer. I'll have to go through them. So I put that in. And boom! The next gatekeeper was waiting for me. And yes, UFO sightings and Bigfoot sightings coincide with each other. Anytime Bigfoot is seen, orbs in the sky, spinning discs, whatever, are also seen. So then I'm like, aha! Now I have envisioning a spaceship landing, the door opening, stairs going down, and some hairy, Chewbacca-like creature walking off. Or one of those grays pretending to be an animal. The grays, that image we've all seen. Other UFO, little bald guys. Okay, so I just went up a little level there. So now, introduced a new element to the whole thing. Bigfoots are related to UFOs. So you check it out, crop circles, which are amazing. Not knowing about the occult. And then the next website was an occult training school website, meaning all the signs and symbols and syllogies they use. It's probably right there in that sign, right up there. So now I'm learning about the occult. And you realize that the patterns in the wheat, the crop circles, are occult symbols. And now you're like, huh? What are occult members speaking? How could they? Well, we'll get to that. You see, it's slowly breaking through. So, at that time, chemtrails were just flying over beautiful blue sky days. Managed to save up enough money, you're gonna have to use your camera, photographing them. Noticing orbs, like you see at the chemtrail sites, in my pictures. I thought it was dirt on the lens. Nope. So the same orbs, I don't even know what this is, that you see are around the so-called chemtrail airplanes. See what's going on here. Now I'm getting down to the nitty-gritty. And YouTube, by the way, if you're a young person or you're just getting into this stuff now, 20 years ago, YouTube was way more free, and you got way better websites and stuff they can't discuss now. So again, started off with Bigfoot. Now I'm into crop circles, finding out that Bigfoot and aliens are a thing. The orbs that they see, because crop circles, there's reports, because everyday airplane, the crop circles can be seen by the street. Well, you know, these country roads. But no one's ever seen anybody make them. And there are reports of airplanes flying to photograph, which they do every day in England, the crop circles, and on the way back to the landing field, where there wasn't a crop circle, there's a fresh brand new one, which means it appears in moments, minutes. They just go turn around and what? Now there's what? So now, you see? So now you know they're not being made by humans. Because it would take hours. You can only see them from the sky, and they're mathematically perfect. See, I'm getting closer. Closer to the truth by the second. A beautiful church. And look what they did. Look what they did. You see the church here? Look at this beautiful church. I'm going to take a picture here, and then we'll continue. Look at, here we are in front of a beautiful church. And look what they did, burn the church. 666. Huh? Who would do that? It's a beaut. Burn the church, 666. Took him time to do this. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus Christ. I cover this church with the blood of Jesus. And I rebuke any demons that are in this part. And I send back any demons or imps or whatever back to the pit, wherever Jesus chooses. I cover this church with the blood of Jesus. Look what they did to the church. Okay. So, I wanted to photograph this. And that's why I'm starting this little talk. TED Talk. In this beautiful church. At the church. So anyway, look what they did. Who's doing the graffiti? We'll get to that too. Oh yeah, we're going to cover a lot of stuff. So to recap, I know this has been a while, in many parts. Started off with Bigfoot. At that time, Bigfoot crop circles. And Bigfoot, crop circles, aliens, and chemtrails were all the rage on YouTube. You could find out a lot. That stuff's all gone now. You have to go to BitChute, which doesn't really work that well. And they don't have nearly as much info as they did. YouTube's gone down, for the truth. If you want to watch somebody eat a triple cheeseburger, YouTube's great. If you want to see a girl shake her ass in her yoga pants, come on down. But if you want to find out the truth, it's harder to find. So, after some research, fire at the old folks home, I came to the conclusion that Bigfoot and UFOs were related. Sure enough, there's a bunch of gatekeepers waiting to congratulate you and to assure you that yes, you're right, they are related. As Sarah, the sightings of UFOs coincide with the sightings of Bigfoot. You're like, Now at this time, I'm photographing chemtrails and noticing, just like the one we just saw 10 minutes ago, that the stuff coming out of the back of the airplane is in perfect focus. Yet the airplane is almost translucent, see-through. It should be the other way around. Big giant jetliners are big chunks of metal flying through the air. And, the stuff at the back, which is apparently, they want us to believe, there's contrails, that's the water particles that freeze and then melt. But chemtrails, they're spraying us with chemicals to dumb us down. It's very believable, because if you look up, these things are flying all over, crisscrossing. You don't have to be an airplane guy, a pilot or someone that works air traffic controller to understand that. There's some beautiful homes, colorful. That an airplane doesn't need to fly over a city unless it's taking off or landing at the local airport. But these things don't take off or land, they just fly over. So they would never have them fly over your city, because there's lots of space up in the sky. Fly to the right, left, whatever. But they're right So that usually gets people to think. So the investigating is now I'm starting to get a little smarter, trying to wake up. At the same time, I'm watching a site that's educating me on the occult. And as I go for walks, I go out the door, and feeling how people shake my hand, and realizing my whole life, I wonder, people are shaking my hand weird. Right? I won't get into this, but no, I don't. Okay. Colorful. I'm realizing about the occult. And it was around this time. Probably at 3 or 4 in the morning. Probably doing something I shouldn't have been doing. But it hit me. Because I'm looking at occult stuff who's talking about Jesus Christ. Check, realizing the UFOs and Bigfoot are related, but that doesn't make sense. Seeing the orbs over the crop circles, but yet seeing them in my own photographs, which I thought I had dust on the lens of the chemtrails, and boom, everything changed. Because guess what they all are? They're all demonic spirits. Spirits, that's what I didn't even believe in spirits or the evil one or Jesus. The spirits are flying. If you're not following me, the chemtrail airplanes aren't airplanes. They're demonic. Put in chemtrails are demonic. See if it pops up. There was a great site. Now I didn't have to go to the site to find that out. In the olden days of YouTube, if you put fake planes, it popped up everywhere. Lots of people were pointing it out. These planes, they would try to say, because they were also gatekeepers. They want you to think they're holograms, which they are. The orbs flying near the planes, you can do it yourself. Grab your camera. Doesn't have to be an expensive one. In fact, the little small ones have a better zoom than the more expensive ones. Zoom in on a chemtrail plane and you'll see orbs around it. It's those orbs that are projecting a hologram. And they're demonic. They're demons. Do you understand? They're not coming out of McCarran Air Force Base in Nevada. See, they don't talk about chemtrails as much because they know YouTube has been around now for, 25 years. And we're not as stupid as we were. Okay? Because they don't want to put chemtrails under scrutiny. Because 20 years ago, they're talking about McCarran Air Force and Air Force Base in Nevada. And think about it. Everywhere in the world, all these planes flying for 20 years now. Boy, talk about a slow death. If that's how I'm going to die, great. And think of the infrastructure and the meals and the gas and all the people that have to work. See, they know, when this stuff is new, YouTube is new. You finding out about chemtrails is new. Do you get it? Anybody following this? I'll probably have to go over this. The airplanes you see, yes, to give us stuff like flus and whatnot. They do have it. They'll show you that picture. There's that one picture of an airplane equipped with all this stuff. They probably do have airplanes that spray it for stuff. They go up there occasionally. I'm not talking about these things you see every day that are crisscrossing one, almost hitting each other, doing grid line patterns on a daily basis. Right? Do you get what I'm talking about here? Those are demons. Chemtrails are demonic. So, what are they spraying? Would you believe it if I told you they're spraying demons? All that white shit coming out. It's just a bevy of demons. Yep. Go to chemtrails are demonic. It's hard to find. You might have to use Wayback Time, which is a program that goes back you know, I don't know, somehow saves internet pages from years ago and go to way back time. But check out chemtrails are demonic. Now again, I didn't have to go there because I knew for a decade before, 15 years before I found that site. But it's right on the money. So if you're like, yeah, they're spraying us with stuff. And then everybody, you know, I know Prince, the singer who's apparently dead, he would go, yeah, you know, in a ghetto, I'd see them spray, then people would get violent. We're like, yeah. It's all bullshit. They're all part of it. If you know anybody who's a celebrity, they're no good. Even if you like them, I know it's tough. They're getting paid the big dollar. They had to join the club. All of them. And they play different roles. Some of them you're going to think are good guys. So, UFOs are for city folk. Bigfoot is for country folk. Or people that pay attention to nature and whatnot. It's the same thing. Leprechauns, all that crap over the years, they all existed. And they probably still do. They're just, it was a different time in leprechauns were before TV and the internet. Loch Ness Monster, why can't they get a good picture of it? Why can't they get a good picture? You can never, and they never will, unless you pull out a colossal hoax, put handcuffs, put Bigfoot in a cage. Because you can't get your arms around a ghost or a spirit, right? They can appear. I mean, look at television, it looks real, right? It's not. You think that these things can't, that's what they're doing. And all this is to keep you stupid, so you never find out the truth. Wow, this place closes early. Great croissants. So good they don't have to stay open. You hear what I'm saying? This is what's going on. So imagine starting off with Bigfoot and ending up with Jesus and finding out all this stuff. I was so obsessed with chemtrails, crop circles. So the crop circles, again, are just there to get you fascinated by. And that's why they're the same patterns that the occult use in their symbols, which most of them can be found on the roof and the ceiling of the Temple of Baal, however you pronounce it. That's where they get their symbols from. Go check it out, Temple of Baal. That's right, Ma, Bell, it all. And that's why these symbols you might think are human. It's because the occult communicate with demons. And that's why they know. That's why all these writers and authors and movie makers and make movies and then read about the future or whatever, that it comes true. You think, wow, this guy's brilliant. No, he's not brilliant. He was told by demonic spirits what they're going to do. And they know the plan of the occult. And the occult will be successful, as many politicians have pointed out. Which are all part of it. You see, the only thing worse than the bad guys are the good guys. Because you think the good guys are good. They're no different than the bad guys. It's just a role they're playing. There is no liberal and conservative and Democrat and Republican. It's just a show for the people to think that there's something going on. You're going to get what they're going to give you. That's the way it is. And your ego won't allow you to deal with this. And that shows what you're made of. See, you might not understand it, but when a Christian hears the truth, they know it's the truth. Other people fight it. The Christians shut up and research it. It's just a sign of the two different. So, started off with Bigfoot. So Bigfoot, that's why you can't catch it. Why you can't get a good picture of it. It's hard to get a picture of a ghost or a demon. Okay? Don't ever play with a Ouija board, but if you do, you're letting things into your life. And you'll hear all kinds of accounts of furniture moving and this and that. That's all true. Because you've let these things in, you've given them permission. And these things can do a hologram of a big hairy beast. And that's why the crop circles. Ha! Let's see if we can go in the church. Let's take a look. Nope. Wow, what a beautiful church. I love walking in churches. This is the sanctuary of Saint Sacrament on Mont Royal Boulevard, or Avenue Mont Royal, here in Montreal. And it's open and it's free and it's beautiful. And I'm glad I went in. You have to take time to do stuff like that. And it's a really cold day, so we're going to continue. Beautiful church. Okay, so I started this walk telling you about how I was lost. Beautiful building. Over 20 years ago or so. News comes on with Bigfoot. I start changing stuff I look at on the internet. And it might have taken me a year, because they bog you down with all this info. But I found Jesus. I know Jesus is real. And there we go. What were we just talking about? There we go. Another. Look at them. Sneaky, yeah? Another chemtrail. So that Bigfoot led me to crop circles. Very interesting crop circles. And I check them out from time to time. Very intricate mathematical equations done in grain. And people just go silent because not even a hater, not even someone who wants to, they might say, oh, they're done by man, but they won't look at the pictures because they shut up real fast. So who does them? There has to be aliens, right? Wrong. Same orbs that you will catch in your pictures if you zoom in, take pictures of chemtrails, you'll see them around Sometimes they're black, sometimes they're white. You're gonna think there's something wrong with your camera. Those orbs are demonic spirits, and they can produce holograms. That's why some cultures don't even like to have dogs in the house, because they think, and they're quite right, that these things ride around on dogs. Now, I love dogs, don't get me wrong. And you should have a dog, especially if you have a property. But, and alcohol. What's that on the side of the van? That's 666, by the way. Very clever. See, there's an occult symbol in your face. You don't even see it. They're all around us. We'll start pointing those out. So, the Bigfoot took me to occult research. Bigfoot, alien, ancient aliens. These are all gatekeepers to keep you stupid. And they do not, and they'll never talk about demons. Because once you go demon route, demons and Jesus go hand in hand, right? Darkness and light, they go together. All right? And it was at that time. So once you learn that, boy, the floodgates open. And if everybody didn't already hate you, they're about to. And don't bother trying to tell anybody this stuff. They're going to look at you like they're crazy. They have to be in a lot of pain. I don't know anybody that's come to Jesus, you know, with lots of money, traveling to Ibiza and buying new cars and doing drugs. And yeah, you have to hit rock bottom. Because this world will massage you and make you feel good. So why do you need Jesus? You got money, you get the best doctors, the best this, best that. So sometimes, when you don't have any money, don't have any friends, don't have a job, they say, I've heard, I don't know who they is, but if you don't have a job, because God wants your attention. And that, I don't know if it's true, but it was true for my wife and myself. In those years that I had no money, we're talking decades, suffering, because you find out who your friends are and who your family are. And see, money you just get in the way. It'll give you enough. Gave me enough for rent, gave me enough for the internet. And I had to scrounge for food, but it wasn't like we were eating, you know. But those were the best years of my life. Because without them, I wouldn't trade them for anything. Because I found Jesus. And it was Bigfoot. That's why I have an affinity for Bigfoot. I talk about Bigfoot a lot. Okay, I got to do some groceries. This was part 1. We'll see how it works, and we'll do another part. All right? So from Montreal on a cold January day, about to get real dark and real cold. I'm going to sign off. I hope you could hear me. And we're going to keep on, keep it on. Over and out. Bye now.